a little bit about what it's like being an international couple, and especially in Korea, because I know a few of you are curious about what it's like to be in an international relationship.
So what are the positive things?
About being in an international relationship? Some of the positive things, well, for one, it gives an opportunity for us to learn a new language. So you knew English before you met me, but do you think you've improved since we've been together?
Yeah, I think so. I think yeah, just a little bit improved, but English and Korean is super different language.
It's like a literally opposite.
So it's really hard, but yeah, try to do my best.
You do a really good job though. I've noticed a huge improvement since when we first met to now, so I think that says a lot. For me, I've always wanted to be fluent in another language, and yeah, I've learned other languages before, but now that I live in Korea, it gives me the opportunity to really dive deep into the language and learn as much as I can, especially because your family doesn't speak a lot of English, so I have to try my best to connect with them too. So that's kind of a good benefit for us, as we can learn each other's language more. The next thing would be just learning each other's culture. So I think we can experience new things, like new foods we can eat. I've especially come to like spicy food now, and that was something I never really had in Minnesota. It was always kind of like plain food. What about you? Do you think that you've learned some of my culture when you were in the US with me?
Yeah, so when you sometimes you teach me American history, American culture things. So it's very helpful to understand your culture things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's good thing being international couple, because I can understand your culture things and you can understand my culture things.
Yeah, I always liked that you taught me the history of Korea, because that gives me a really good picture into how Koreans are now, how they've become who they are now. So that's been really helpful, and I'm really glad that you've shown me that side of Korea too.
And also I think good thing, positive thing is we can choose which country we can live.
Oh yeah.
So you're from America, I'm from Korea, so if we want to stay in Korea, we can stay in Korea. If we want to go to America, we can go to America. So
Yeah.
two options.
I know, that's actually really nice. It's we have two home bases, one in the US and one in Korea. So we can travel different countries kind of easily too because of that. It's nice to have two different homes, kind of like that. The other thing is when we have kids, they will be able to know two languages and have an understanding of two cultures, and I think that's really interesting and kind of fun thing for us.
That's a really good thing, because we could save our money to let them go to English 학원.
Yeah.
Because you could teach.
Yeah. Save our money for that.
Yeah, save money for
That's a good point. For the negative things, I think it's always important to know these before getting into an international relationship, because it's not always rainbows and butterflies. There are some negative things too, which is normal in any relationship, of course. So one, I know I already said this for the positive, but it's kind of intertwined with the negative as well, is language. So we are both not native speakers in each other's languages. So sometimes there is a little bit of problems there, and we can not really say what we want to say all the time. So that's kind of a hard thing to deal with. But also on the flip side, it makes us more patient with each other because we know that we have to like slow down and try to understand each other on a deeper level instead of just like ignoring each other. Yeah.
So it's kind of like good thing too, because I don't speak, you don't speak like each other's language very well.
Mhm.
So when we have like verbal fight,
Mhm.
then it stops like getting bigger, like verbal fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really
Because-
does.
Because like we don't know the language, so like like this.
Yeah, I know, that's true. And that's why I was saying we're more like patient with each other because like when we're fighting, if we have a verbal fight, we don't like go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like I don't interrupt you, you don't interrupt me. We like get what we're trying to say out and we have to listen to each other. And I think that's really helpful. It makes us like slow down and cool off a little bit. So yeah. And so one person is going to have to kind of sacrifice their life to be with the other person. And in our case, it was me who had to do that, which is okay. It was so worth it. But yeah, I had to completely start over here in Korea. And that was a little bit hard to get used to, but thankfully I have a really supporting partner, so everything is okay.
We can really connect about our childhood, like pop culture references that are nostalgic for us.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, like when we think about our childhood and like all the things that make up our childhood, like what music we listened to, what shows we watched, like what we played with, they're completely different and we can't really like connect with each other on that. So like when you ask me if I know something, I'm like, no, what is that? And the same for you, like if I ask you what, I don't know, Beanie Babies are, like, do you know what that is even?
I have no idea.
What? See, it's like something that we really like.
Because we have different background. Like
Yeah.
you grew up in the US,
Mhm.
and I grew up in Korea. So
Yeah, but that's also kind of fun too. Like we can learn new things about each other's childhood, right?
but yeah, that's good thing. But we used to listen to Britney Spears when we were like
Oh,
teenagers.
we both did.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
So-
true.
It's good.
There's one thing.
One thing.
Yeah.
Is international marriage common in the US?
It's not super common. I think I read it was somewhere like 7% of the population has an international relationship, marriage, I mean. So like one person's native US citizen and they have a foreign-born spouse.
Do you know what country is common?
The most common, I think I read somewhere that it's like Latin America and Caribbean regions, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that's the most common though. It's
there-
closer to US.
Oh, that's the reason why.
I think so, yeah. Well, what about Korea too? Like, is it common to have international marriages and from what countries?
I think international couples and international marriage is getting popular. As you can see, like on YouTube, like so many international couples.
Oh,
right?
there's so many now,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it's getting popular,
Mhm.
and so I think like Southeast Asia is the most common country like that Korean like get married.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Mhm.
because I think like Asian culture is similar. So like Japan, China, and like Southeast Asia, or yeah, Southeast Asia always been like top of the country like international marriage.
Okay, interesting. So today's video is a little bit short. We just wanted to give like kind of a glimpse into what an international relationship kind of entails. And if you have any more specific questions, please leave a comment below, and in the future maybe we'll answer those for you and talk more in detail about this. But thanks for watching. 안녕. Bye.